Welcome to the Ultimate SC-401 Exam Masterclass. I've earned 30 plus certifications, and I'm here to guide you to success on your exam. This PDF in the description is your shortcut. Use these strategies wisely and crack your exam in one go. Revise this PDF 2 to 3 times, and you'll feel the difference in your confidence. Let's jump straight into the most important questions for your success. Question 1. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription. You need to create a sensitivity label named Label 1. The solution must ensure that users can use Microsoft 365 Copilot to summarize files that have Label 1 applied. Which permission should you select for Label 1? A. Export content export. B. Copy and extract content extract. C. Edit content dosed. D. View rights view. The correct answer is B. Copy and extract content extract. Explanation. Microsoft 365 Copilot requires the copy and extract permission to read and summarize protected content. Without this permission, Copilot cannot access the information inside encrypted files. Question 2. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription. You need to enable support for sensitivity labels in Microsoft SharePoint Online. What should you use? A. The Microsoft Purview Portal. B. The Microsoft Entra Admin Center. C. The SharePoint Admin Center. D. The Microsoft 365 Admin Center. The correct answer is A. The Microsoft Purview Portal. Explanation. Sensitivity labels for SharePoint Online are managed from Microsoft Purview. This portal provides centralized configuration for information protection across Microsoft 365. Question 3. You have a Microsoft 365 subscription. You need to customize encrypted email for the subscription. The solution must meet the following requirements. Ensure that when an encrypted email is sent, the email includes the company logo. Minimize administrative effort. Which PowerShell command should you run? A. Set IRM configuration. B. Set OME configuration. C. Set RMS template. D. New OME configuration. The correct answer is B. Set OME configuration. Explanation. Set OME configuration modifies existing Office message encryption branding settings. It allows you to add your company logo without creating a new configuration. Question 4. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription. You need to ensure that encrypted email messages sent to an external recipient can be revoked or will expire within 7 days. What should you configure first? A. A custom branding template. B. A mail flow rule. C. A sensitivity label. D. A conditional access policy. The correct answer is A. A custom branding template. Explanation. Advanced message encryption expiration and revocation settings are configured through a custom branding template. After creating the template, you can apply it by using mail flow rules. Question 5. You have a Microsoft 365 subscription that uses retention label policies. You need to identify all the changes made to retention labels during the last 30 days. What should you use in the Microsoft Purview portal? A. Reports. B. Activity Explorer. C. Content Search. D. Use Data Search. The correct answer is B. Activity Explorer. Explanation. Activity Explorer records label-related activities and administrative changes across Microsoft 365. It helps you review actions performed during a selected time period. Question 6. You are creating a data loss prevention DLP policy that will apply to all available locations except Fabric and Power BI workspaces. You configure an advanced DLP rule in the policy. Which type of condition can you use in the rule? A. Sensitive info type. B. Content search query. C. Sensitive label. D. Keywords. The correct answer is A. Sensitive info type. Explanation. Advanced DLP rules can detect sensitive information types such as credit card numbers or passport numbers. This enables automatic protection based on the content that is discovered. Question 7. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription that contains a Microsoft SharePoint online site named Site1. You need to implement Microsoft Purview Data Lifecycle Management. What should you create first? A. A sensitivity label policy. B. A data loss prevention DLP policy. C. An auto-labeling policy. D. A retention label. The correct answer is D. A retention label. Explanation. Retention labels define how long content is retained and what happens after the retention period. They are the foundation of Microsoft Purview Data Lifecycle Management. Question 8. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription that uses Microsoft Defender for cloud apps. You need to ensure that you receive an alert when a user uploads a document to a third-party cloud storage service. What should you use? A. An insider risk policy. B. A file policy. C. A sensitivity label. D. An activity policy. The correct answer is D. An activity policy. Explanation. Activity policies monitor user actions such as uploads, downloads, and sign-ins. They can generate alerts whenever a specified activity occurs. Question 9. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription that uses Microsoft Purview. You are evaluating the use of custom data assessment scans to identify the potential oversharing of data in the subscription. What is the maximum number of items the data assessments can support per location? A. 50,000. B. 100,000. C. 200,000. D. 500,000. The correct answer is C. 200,000. Explanation. Custom data assessment scans support up to 200,000 items for each location. This limit helps maintain efficient performance during oversharing analysis. Question 10. You have a Microsoft 365 subscription. You need to monitor Microsoft 365 Copilot user prompts and responses for content that has been matched by the Protected Materials Trainable Classifier. Which type of policy should you create? A. Communication compliance. B. Data loss prevention DLP. C. Insider risk management. D. Retention. The correct answer is A. Communication compliance. Explanation. Communication compliance can inspect Copilot prompts and responses for policy violations. It supports trainable classifiers including protected materials to help monitor sensitive conversations. Question 11. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription that has a sensitivity label named Sensitivity1. You plan to create an auto-labeling policy that will apply Sensitivity1 to Microsoft Exchange Online mailboxes. On February 1st, you create the auto-labeling policy and enable simulation mode by using the default settings. No modifications are made to the policy in simulation mode. When will the policy first be turned on? A. February 2nd. B. February 6th. C. February 15th. D. Never. The correct answer is D. Never. Explanation. Simulation mode only evaluates the policy and does not automatically enable enforcement. An administrator must manually turn on the policy after reviewing the simulation results. Question 12. You have a Microsoft 365 subscription. You create a new trainable classifier. You need to train the classifier. Which source can you use to train the classifier? A. An on-premises Microsoft SharePoint server site. B. An Azure file share. C. A Microsoft SharePoint online site. D. An NFS file share. The correct answer is C. A Microsoft SharePoint online site. Explanation. Custom trainable classifiers use content stored in SharePoint Online as seed data for training. On-premises repositories and file shares cannot be used directly for this purpose. Question 13. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 tenant that has a retention label named Label 1. Teams channel messages. B. OneDrive accounts. C. On-premises repositories. D. Teams chats. The correct answer is B. OneDrive accounts. Explanation. Auto-labeling for retention labels supports SharePoint Online and OneDrive locations. Teams chats and channel messages are not supported for retention auto-labeling. Question 14. You have a Microsoft 365 tenant that is opt-in for trainable classifiers. You need to ensure that a user named User1 can create custom trainable classifiers. The solution must use the principle of least privilege. Which role should you assign to User1? A. Security Administrator. B. Compliance Administrator. C. Global Administrator. D. Security Operator. The correct answer is B. Compliance Administrator. Explanation. The Compliance Administrator role includes permissions to create and manage trainable classifiers. It provides the required access without granting unnecessary administrative privileges. Question 15. You need to test Microsoft Purview advanced message encryption capabilities for your company. The test must verify the following information: the acquired default template names, the encryption and decryption verification status. Which PowerShell command should you run? A. Test OAuth connectivity. B. Test client access rule. C. Test IRM configuration. D. Test mail flow. The correct answer is C. Test IRM configuration. Explanation. Test IRM configuration verifies that information rights management is configured correctly. It also confirms encryption functionality and displays available RMS templates. Question 16. You plan to implement Microsoft Purview Advanced Message Encryption. You need to ensure that encrypted emails sent to external recipients expires after 7 days. What should you create first? A. A mail flow rule. Question 1. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription. You need to create a sensitivity label named Label 1. The solution must ensure that users can use Microsoft 365 Copilot to summarize files that have Label 1 applied. Which permission should you select for Label 1? A. Export content export. B. Copy and extract content extract. C. Edit content edit. D. View rights view. The correct answer is B. Copy and extract content extract. Explanation. Microsoft 365 Copilot requires the copy and extract permission to read and summarize protected content. Without this permission, Copilot cannot access the information inside encrypted files. Question 17. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 tenant that contains a user named User1. User1 is assigned the Compliance Administrator role. User 1 cannot view the regular expression in the IP address sensitive info type. You need to ensure that User 1 can view the regular expression. What should you do? A. Assign User 1 the global reader role. B. Assign User 1 to the reviewer role group. C. Create a copy of the IP address sensitive info type and instruct User 1 to edit the copy. D. Instruct User 1 to use the test function on the sensitive info type. The correct answer is C. Create a copy of the IP address sensitive info type and instruct User 1 to edit the copy. Explanation. Built-in sensitive information types cannot expose their internal regular expressions. Creating a custom copy allows administrators to view and modify the detection pattern. Question 18. You are creating a custom trainable classifier to identify organizational product codes referenced in Microsoft 365 content. You identify 300 files to use as seed content. Where should you store the seed content? A. An Azure file share. B. A Microsoft OneDrive folder. C. A Microsoft SharePoint Online folder. D. A Microsoft Exchange Online shared mailbox. The correct answer is C. A Microsoft SharePoint Online folder. Explanation. Microsoft recommends storing seed content for custom trainable classifiers in SharePoint Online. The training service accesses these files directly to build the classifier. Question 19. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 tenant that has a retention label named Label 1. You need to create an auto-labeling policy that will apply Label 1. To which location can Label 1 be applied? A. OneDrive accounts. B. Microsoft Entra security groups. C. Microsoft Defender for cloud apps. D. Teams chats. The correct answer is A. OneDrive accounts. Explanation. Retention auto-labeling supports OneDrive and SharePoint Online locations. Microsoft Entra Security Group's Defender for Cloud Apps and Teams chats are not valid target locations. Question 20. You receive an email that contains a list of words that will be used for a sensitive information type. You need to create a file that can be used as the source of a keyword dictionary. In which format should you save the list? A. A JSON file that has an element for each word. B. A docx file that has one word on each line. C. A CSV file that contains words separated by commas. D. An ACCDB database file that contains a table named dictionary. The correct answer is C. A CSV file that contains words separated by commas. Explanation. Keyword dictionaries for Microsoft Purview are imported by using a CSV file. Each keyword is stored in the CSV format so it can be referenced by sensitive information types. Please revise full PDF 2 to 3 times for 100% success. Check the description for the PDF download link and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for upcoming episodes. Thank you.